Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Ballogy. Manage and measure your players' skill development and increase accountability year-round utilizing the Ballogy app. Boost inter-squad competition with drills backed by the National High School Basketball Coaches Association, including a 40-shot Ballogy skills assessment. Please visit ballogy.com/teams for information on how you can provide this resource for your team. I appreciate you sharing so much about what life has kind of been like for you after winning a state championship, because the majority of us, I mean, I've been doing this 11 years as a head coach, 16 overall, never been in that arena. And the goal is to be there, but there's a good chance a lot of great coaches retire without ever being there. So a lot of things have to line up. But you know what isn't talked a lot about is, what is it like right after you do it? How long were you, as far as that you win that night, how long was it until business is back to usual within the program? Or where, you know, that high was just kind of staying for a while? How quick did that turnaround happen for you?
It was a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so okay. So this is my 17th year now as a head coach, and I've been in DISD for 24 years, something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
And as an assistant coach and a head coach in the district for 17 years. So that was my 16th year. And man, I always had dreams about what it would look like or how I would be if I wanted. To be honest, we were being pulled everywhere. The team, the coaching staff, me. But after spring break, before the Final Four, because went to the NABC and go to that every year, met with two of my younger coaches, one of my newer coaches, rather. He's aspiring to be a head coach out of the Houston area. He said, "Coach, can I run off season this year?" You know, I thought about it because I'm always, let's get going. So, you know what? Yeah. I said, and I told you pick another assistant. You guys show me the plan, what you're going to be doing, weights, what you're going to do, everything like that. Show it to me. I need that at the beginning of every week. And you got it.
Nice.
And he did. He did, man. And I was fortunate enough to have somebody.
Yeah.
I stuck my head down there between April and May. I probably stuck my head in there twice. They had it, man. I was so thankful for that. And I was able to really finally, I can leave a little early, make it to my son's basketball practice. Right after school. I could go whatever meetings I had, other things. I knew they had it, man. And I want to say he did a really good job. Coach Carrington did. And his name's Ryan Carrington, and did a great job. So it was back to business. I met with my coaching staff probably after the Final Four, told those guys, listen, we got guys playing AAU. Let's start finding out, get a list of their the team they play for and get their schedule. Everybody's got to start getting out of these games. Incoming freshmen that we have coming, got to get to their game. Those eighth graders got to get to their games. So they were out. So I will give them that. I got 8 assistant coaches.
Wow.
That's unreal in high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be a 4A school with about 1,400 kids. But we get 3 paid coaches, and then the rest are former college players that are teachers in this building. So, they do the UIL pay where they can actually coach. There's not paid. But the paid coaches are actually over freshman JV. Then you get associate head coach. Then you get a guy that's a coach that's down there. So that's really worked for us, getting certified teachers in that have played college ball that can be in there and help. And a lot of people, a lot of these guys just like being a part of the program, man.
Yeah.
Because now I can have a head coach on a freshman and assistant, head coach on a JV and assistant, head coach on a varsity assistant, 2 assistants. It works. And now each kid has a coach that they can go to. And if it's after school, individuals, these 3 guys, these are your 3 guys. You got them 3 days a week, get their individuals in 30 minutes, shooting, ball handling, whatever. And being able to delegate that responsibility has really worked for me instead of trying to put all that on me. So, it was after about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so after winning, it was back to business, but I delegated responsibility. Because, as a head coach, that can be a lot on us, man, just trying to do everything.
I was going to say, I think the most impressive part about that is the trust that you had, the ability you had to let go. Because I think control, we want our players to play free, and we want to limit the control we have over them on the floor. But us giving up control of training, scheduling, the plan, the almighty practice plan, that's hard to do.
That's hard to do. It took me a while. I lost a couple of coaches behind that. I was doing everything.
Yeah.
Where you're going to do this, you're going to do this. I'm involved in all that now. It helps because, I'm still doing a practice plan. And this is where we're going over there. They get an email, they print it out. We go, start stretching at 3:15. I mean, everything's timed. We kind of try to run it like a college practice or whatever because we went to several schools over the years. And but they go right in and they get it. And some days I'm right in there. Some days I'm just kind of watching, walking around. And every now and then, if I see something I don't like, I'll just step in, blow the whistle, and just go off on everybody. But it's about I still have to, like, they hold me accountable, my coaches, but I have to hold myself accountable. I hold them accountable. They hold those kids accountable, and the kids hold each other accountable. And it's been working the last few years. You said one thing, Matt. Man, I'm gonna tell you, getting to state is hard within itself. We probably have the most games in America that you have to play to get to a state championship. I don't know with California and Florida.
UIL is tough. Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. And 7 games and the 7th game is that. I mean, Louisiana, they play 4. They're there. Certain Arkansas plays like 3 or 4.
TAPS is 5, so I figure I got a pretty good shot if I get past that first round. Okay.
Yeah, if you. Yeah. But being 5A, 4A, 5A, 6A is hard. And for us to be able to do it 3 years straight, it's like, I tell you this, I thought I knew how to get there as being an assistant because I've been there twice as an assistant coach. But when you're the head coach, it's not, because you're an assistant, you can just sit over there and tell this guy as a head coach. But once we found out, learned the blueprint, one, of course, the ball has to go in the hoop. No injuries when you're in the playoffs. Yeah. No injuries. Ball got to go in. Things got to happen right. Kids got to make plays. You got to manage, control the timeout just like you do in a regular season. But also a lot of luck. It does take that, and that's the hard part. And to go back to back, it's like you once you find out the blueprint, that comes to. I'm gonna give you an example. Sometimes first place in district is not the best route to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you can be like, man, we need to win the district. No, it's okay. Hey, we beat this team, we beat them. When we don't, hey, we can split with them, flip a coin. Hopefully we get second place. We go second, best route. Our hardest game may be in the 3rd round. We get past there, we're in the regional finals. Also, it's about where you play. I've had played teams, man. I try to rotate certain gyms, for certain rounds that I've won at in the past. I'm giving all this up now. It's a secret, but it's something I can because I've won, and I would love to win another one. But hey, I'm in the Texas history. But
that's right.
Sometimes it's just about, okay, this coach wants to play here. No, we need to go play here, or we get this neutral site. They think it's about fans. Okay, I'll go there, play you here. I know it's a little closer to you, but I've won my last 3 playoff games in that gym. The ball.
It's a big deal.
Until you get to regionals, some people play with Spalding, Bodden, that Wilson ball. And they got 2 types of Wilson ball. I played a team a couple years ago. I said, well, man, let's just go with the Spalding, whatever. Man, we don't really have no Spalding. What about Wilson? I said, well, I don't have no Wilson ball. He said, well, we don't either. I said, okay, well, I got to call our district office. I said, hey, I need some Wilson balls. He said, well, what kind? I said, well, we just need 6. He said, well, there are 2 types. I said, well, send me 3 and 3. You got the Wilson outdoor, it's a lighter orange, and you got the college Wilson, the dark orange. So we go to the place, we work out with the balls. We're the home team. Made sure we were home. We get there, they got 2 bags full of Wilson balls. I got tricked. So I go to the counter before the game. I said, whose ball is this? Oh, that's their ball. I said, nah, I'm the home team. I took the ball and put it down and kicked it to their bench. I went to my point guard. I said, which one are we playing with? He said, Coach, we're going to play with the college Wilson. Now, it's two totally different balls, but we practiced with it already. We put that ball up there. They couldn't make a three. They couldn't make a three with that ball. We hit 17 threes that game.
Yikes.
17.
That's a good number right there. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, some people think, oh, whatever ball is whatever. No, sometimes it can make a difference because that bottom ball gets a little slippery.
Yep.
And now we're having to play with it.
The seams are different too. The seams and the bottoms are wider. Yeah.
They are. And then the way you hit the rim when if you're playing on a tight rim. So, but now since we've gone bottom, we got number bottom balls because we're playing with. So
you're right on the money though. The assistant coaches don't think about all those details. And I love the fact that you said something I feel like everybody knows, but not a lot of people talk about, is the luck that actually is involved. Because like we said at the very beginning, there's a lot of great coaches out there that have the right scheme for their team. They can execute it. The belief system, like you talked about, is there. But throughout that season, grades, injuries, like all the things that can go wrong, do they go wrong for you? The years where they don't, man, that's that magic, that lightning in a bottle. You got a shot. But then on top of it, arena, basketballs, how far you're traveling, how does that affect? Like, you're right on the money, Coach. It's just not as easy as let the boys play. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. If there's a wall, some kids shoot better with that wall.
No doubt. Yep.
Some kids don't shoot well in open air arenas. Some do. If I know we're going to go play at, let's say the Garland, the center out there for regionals, then I'll make sure we get a practice in Ellis Davis Fieldhouse just because it's an open air, especially if we hadn't played in one all year, just so my kids, because there's no backdrop behind those baskets. So they have to go get shooting on them. Man, it's all strategic. Like, I never felt like I was this great coach. I never felt like that. And I know some coaches that I feel are really great coaches, really X and O guys, things like that they've never had a sniff of a state championship or being down there, and some got down there and didn't win it. And I would pick guys like them, their brains. Me, I just feel like I've with the talent I have, I put them in position to where they can help the team. This kid may not be a system kid, he may be a one-on-one kid, so he doesn't fit well in what we're doing, but when I get it to him, it's like an isolation deal where he can score. Or this kid's a good defender, he's a great shooter, he's a spot up, he can't run over off a stagger screen, so I got to have a play, a ghost screen or whatever like that where he can just catch and let it go. I mean, it's changing every year. And my coaches this year, he was like, we went to U of H, Kelvin Sampson's coaching clinic in 2019. And I never forget, the year before, I had Kobe Williams as point guard, went to Louisiana Tech. He's at Tulsa now. 2 6'8" kids, 2 shooters. I ran a lot of high-low and a lot of flat screens and let Kobe go off that flat screen and just make a play to the shooters or the bigs. The next year, couldn't do that with that team. Trying to do it with losing fall league games. I'm trying to figure it. So we went to U of H. Kelvin Sampson gave a free coaches clinic. Sat down and watched. I told my coaches, steal everything. Take everything from the out-of-bounds plays to the way they play defense to their offense. We ran a 4-out, no post, 1 in the hideaway. Okay? And we're trying to get to the nail of the paint, drive and kick, dribble drive, ghost screens, flat screens, different things like that. And then we're going to pick you up full court, half court, no middle, force you to that sideline and baseline. We got help coming over. This guy drops on the backside. So we started that. We went to that in October 19 of 2019. Put that in 2 weeks before the season started. We went 30-7. We made it to the regional finals and lost to Lancaster, and then they went and COVID hit, nobody played.
Yeah.
Come back the next year, we're 25-11, same system, win the state championship, lose to Beaumont United. 2022 state championship, lose to Beaumont United. Same system this year, 33-2. Now, U of H was in the Final Four one of those years, and in Elite 8, I think 1 or 2 of those years too.
Hmm.
Same system. I talked about this at TABC when I spoke. I said, no matter what you do, especially if you use this system, and I showed it, showed our fast break, showed our secondary offense coming out of the fast break, going into that, you still got to have players. You got to have some kids that can execute. And if you got a good point guard, a shooter, maybe 2 guys that can put it on the floor, and your big don't have to be 6'7", he could be 6'4", 6'3", 6'4".
Those are tough sometimes.
As long as that kid can finish around that basket, it helps if he can dunk too. But if he can just finish in that hideaway area, and you can make it work. And that's the part that's tough. And I told her, so this year, all my coaches hit me over the weekend. They say, man, we're not going to be able to do that this year. I know we've done it the last 4 years, but and so my brother sent me some stuff. He said, listen, here is the breakdown blueprint of 5 outs. I do not like 5 outs. But I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's just, we've tried it. We're going to, they just don't get it. And so now I'm going to have to go in the lab. I'm going to have to learn 5 out. And there's a lot of stuff you can do from it, I know. But I'm going to have to revamp all this stuff. And we did it in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It worked then, so I'm going to have to do it now. It's just what it is. And that's the challenge. I love challenges, but, being a coach, like, as a head coach, we have to adjust, man. I mean, do I want to? No. The thing we've been doing has been working.
Yeah.
Why change it? But I just don't have that personnel, man.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.